We talked a little bit about the remote touch and some of the basic overall button layout. Now we're going to get into showing you what it can do. I'm going to choose the button menu. And up top you're going to see that you have a menu screen. Navigation, radio, media, phone, setup, climate, information, and Lexus App Suite. The Lexus App Suite is good for the entire purchase of the vehicle. If it's a lease, you'll get it for the whole lease. Or if you're going to keep the vehicle for 10, 20 years, you're still going to have it at no additional cost. The navigation, when pressed by using the enter button, I would say use the side buttons as much as possible. They are fixed and they're just on a little toggle. So when I press in, you have a real crisp enter button. So for example, if I'm driving down the road and I hit a bump and I'm trying to use this cursor as my enter button, I might miss my chance to enter. For example, if I was to enter in the DEST and I hit a bump, I might actually not even find where the cursor is going to end up. Meaning, I wanted to hit or press the button DEST. When I use this button down here, this little cursor, because it jumps around because of a bump, it doesn't always work 100%. That is the reason why when you're fixed on the DEST, I can hit as many bumps as possible, but because this is more of a fixed design, I don't have to worry about it skipping around on the map, which in this case, if you see, I'll press on the enter button and it nicely brought me to the screen that is called the destination. Destination is a great feature. There are a lot of cool things that you can see. You have a go home button. Now, when we meet with you during the delivery, I will set up your go home button. A lot of times people don't want to have their exact address put in, and I don't blame them. Then there's 5 other presets. There's also an address field that if you wanted to type in an address, you gotta pick your state, your city, and after a while it'll pick, and then you can put in your street name. In this case, I'm not going to worry about typing it out. I feel that typing it out is the last result of not getting the voice recognition to work. Now, the cool thing is, you do have point of interest. We're already selected for the state of Wisconsin. You can check out on names, phone numbers. In case if I had the phone number, I could actually type it in. In this case, I'm going to try it. And our sister store is East Madison, Toyota or Scion. And it did its job just perfectly. Category, near here, I can select from dining, recreation, shopping, banks, automotive, medical, travel, lodging, service and community. Maybe I want to go to city centers and I can see what's going on around the area. And there's everything. So the nice thing about it is it's going to give me maybe a little bit better search fields if I wanted to sit down in a parking lot situation and just use my mouse. I'll get to voice commands in just a moment, but I just want to give you a quick heads up of how the mouse works. Now, if we hit the menu button again, you're going to see that we're going to go to that same menu screen. We have something up in the upper right-hand corner called Display. we can go and turn the screen totally off. If I hit the home button, it turns right back on, and you got it back and functioning. Or if I go to display, I can change the contrast and brightness. I can do it to the map, the buttons, as well as the general colors. And I can also adjust the camera contrast and brightness. In case if your garage points off in the direction that the sun rises, you can darken up the field of vision so that you can see out the back camera. Radio and media, I just want to point out again, there it is, radio and media. If I were to select it on the screen, it would go to the same exact spot as if I were to actually hit it right off of these hard buttons up on the center console area. Climate. There's a couple of hidden features that I want to point out. A de-icing grid. That's the top button. Down here, more of a cleaner or cabin air filter cleaner. Go back to menu. Info. I'm going to check out the weather. Use my mouse and drag it down to the bottom. Select weather map. And this is a live representation of the Doppler radar coming from the Weather Channel. We are expected to get rain. And if you're traveling out towards maybe north of Waterloo, Iowa, you'd be running directly into that rainstorm. Nice thing about this service is that it's free. It runs off of the HD antenna. So not only are you going to get HD radio, HD traffic, but you're also going to get HD weather complimentary. Now there is a little bit of a drawback on this system, and that means if you're up around, way up north, maybe they're not broadcasting in HD, then you're going to lose out on those 3 services. But around Madison and larger metropolitan areas, and even smaller ones like Dubuque, Platteville, and I'd say even smaller than that, they'll still show up. It's those smaller towns of about 2,000 people that are not going to show up. So as long as there's a HD signal, you will have HD weather, traffic, and the HD stations.